Good evening. Welcome to the Land Tamer Stream, folks. Good to see everyone that's here tonight. That might be able to tune in. Some folks chatting up on Discord about some good things. So happy Halloween to those who are participating in such. And I need to adjust this a little bit here. Sorry, folks. Got to adjust my routine here a little bit. Okay, there. I think that took care of it. Yeah, we're going to be doing some more ISIS tonight. Looking forward to that. I've really enjoyed it so far, what I've been learning about ISIS. Did a little bit of lesson last night, and of course, we got, finished authentication yesterday. Now working on some principles about, the designated intermediary system, the DIS and the pseudonode and how that works. Going to do a lab here in a minute. Going to talk about a few things I've been working on also related to CCIE, but generally related to the lab, for example. I haven't spent a lot of time with it, but I know that transitioning to the community edition of EVNG in the cloud means that I need a way to do the packet captures. And it's pretty simple on a Windows computer. But on a Mac or Linux, there are a few additional steps that I have not yet figured out. There's some posts out there. I've started working through those, and we'll try it again tonight. There's an app I installed called UNL Wireshark V2 that's supposed to work on a Mac. We'll see. I haven't really tried it yet. So we're going to be trying that, and then if that doesn't work here, what I've done is I actually have a Windows 10 Pro machine in Azure that I may try using that just to make sure I can do, because I'm going to want some captures tonight, especially on this lab with the DIS and the pseudonode. Speaking of labbing in Azure, I did finally get blob storage working, deployed, that actually got working yesterday, but this morning I went ahead and uploaded the images. So that's a manual process because eventually I want to release this whole Azure EVNG Community Edition lab project as something that other people can use as just a package that you can deploy yourself in Azure. So this part, though, has to be manual. I'm not going to automate that, of course, and that is copying the images up. Got that going. So they're up there. And whenever I'm ready to build the bigger lab machine and automate the deployment of those images to EVNG Community Edition, I want to automate that. With blob storage, I can pretty much programmatically. It's accessible via API, so there's a number of different ways that you can copy and read files from Azure Blob Storage. Shoot, I don't know about this headband here, or not headband, but let me see if I can fix that real quick. It's got spooky stuff happening there. Just 1 second, and we'll get to. It's not easy fixing this stuff with the lighting I have. Man, I really want to get some better lighting, some streamer. We are going to do it at some point. We will definitely be doing that. That will help a little bit, I guess. All right, so getting back to labbing Azure. So the other thing I've decided is I thought it'd be, one of the things on my to-do list is to really, with a big VM, is to create a huge lab. I'm talking as many routers as I get to reasonably run on that thing. iOS V images, the viral images. And I thought, instead of just doing one big lab at a time, at one time, let me just iteratively build it, using basically, agile principles here. And when I'm building labs for, even small labs, like tonight we're going to do a 4-router lab. What I'm going to do is just create different ASs, and I'm just going to build on those labs. So by the time I'm done through networklessons.com, I mean, I may have who knows how many, and that's bothering me. Sorry, folks. I got to change this out real quick. Right back. Okay, that should be better. That was a distraction. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, if I do another lab that is 3 routers, 4 routers, I'm just going to create a link or a switch or another network in between them and add 3 or 4 more routers and just see how big it gets, right? So we'll probably start on that tonight with the first lab. Then written progress, again, as I mentioned, networklessons.com, ISIS, DIS, and pseudonode. Going through the different message types. So I was wondering about this yesterday. What is a CSNP? What does it do? Why is it there? I don't understand what it's doing. But thanks to Renee Molinar, this lesson, the next lesson was explaining that. And essentially what it is, the message types we've encountered so far, hello, we know what those are. That's to establish and maintain the ISIS router adjacencies. But when we look at these other message types, for example, if I go into the packet captures, and you may or may not know, folks, but this is also on GitHub. The link is over there in the chat. And this is the, I've actually already copied out there 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ISIS PCAPs. So we have the different adjacencies here, L1 to L1, L2, L1, 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 L2, L1, L2, etc. with plain text authentication, plain text area domain, and then plain text, some of these are duplicate. Oh, that's just L1. And then MD5 authentication interface. So if you ever want to look at these, feel free to just grab them out there. But let's take a look at these message types. And I was looking at these earlier along with, it was helpful to read the lesson and look at the packet types at the same time. So we've got our hellos, we know about those. I did not want that to come up over here. Here we go. CSNP. So this is complete sequence number PDU. And there it is, complete sequence numbers protocol data unit. And the way this works is it's telling you here that here's the source, which is router 2. Notice it is just using the, it is taken off the area and the domain. So this is the INSAP, I believe. So this is router 2, and essentially he is covering this whole range. And what we have here is these LSP entries with an ID number. So what this does is, we'll talk more about this on the pseudonode, but essentially this is given like the last 3 that are in the database. And it's a way for routers to know if they're on the same segment. You know, it's kind of an acknowledgement system. These are the last 3 I have. Am I missing any? If you are, then that's when the PSNPs, someone can request a partial sequence number PDU. Like, okay, I have number 9, but I don't have numbers 10 and 11. So please send those over, those LSPs. So that's how we're getting into these different message types here. And then we get our trivia. But let's go ahead and pull up the lab. I'm just going to save that. And let's get started on that. What I've done here is I have started the this VM, and we're going to connect to it now. I think I'm already connected, yeah. And then we're going to start this Windows 10 VM. I don't know if I've ever connected to this before. Let me just double check the security here. This is one I deployed manually. Oh yeah, okay, so this is going to be a little lesson here in networking in Azure. So this is our virtual network, and we should have, what I need to do is make sure that one VM can talk to the other. Networking, application security groups. Okay, so I think that is my IP. Let me double check. It's weird because now when I click my IP on Google, it shows me my IPv6 address, which is cool. But sometimes I still need to know my IPv4 address. Azure is not real progressive when it comes to... Okay, I still have the same IP. Cool. So this NSG should work. I should be able to get in, no problem. Let's go back to the VM. And you can just click connect here, and it should download an RDP file. Remote desktop. But again, I'm on a Mac, so Microsoft remote desktop. Yeah, so search is not always real reliable these days on Safari when you're searching for like applications. I tend to not rely so much on the dock. Like I just like to do command spacebar and do a spotlight search, but all right, I know I had these on here. At least I thought I did. Oh, why is that stopped? Oh, you know what? I'll bet it is on a timer to stop at a certain time. Let's do a start again. Let's also configure this. This is to give it a, it's dynamic as we can see, but this is to give it a alias. I think I have to wait until the machine boots. But let's find our Microsoft remote desktop for the Mac. Actually, yeah, it should be on the App Store now, the new App Store. There we go. Okay, I thought I had installed it, but I guess not. East US 2, okay. Let's go do the DNS name for convenience. Oh, this is a little different. Okay, VME2 Win 10 Pro. Checks out, now I can save. There we go. And we're going to go to, now we should have it. This is cool in the new App Store. It's just like on your phone. You just click open. And this one we can delete. Now if I can just remember the the account I used. Let me see if I can find that here. Your account did not work. Okay, shoot. It's been a while since I created this. Bear with me one moment here. If I could see, you know how it is trying to remember a password for VMs when it's so easy to, like, just pump out a VM in Azure. I'm going into my LastPass here to see. Oh, let's try this. I can't remember. So you know what we're going to do is we're just going to deploy a new one. Let's stop. And we'll actually go through deploying a VM, Azure. Hey, Mark Milo, good to see you, my friend. I am doing well. Hope you're doing well also this evening. Are you going to be eating candy tonight, Mark Milo, late tonight? I will not be. I'm on keto, so unfortunately that is kind of out of the question for me. But, oh, here, this might be it. No. Yeah, you know, I'm not even sure what I use, so I'm just gonna, like I said, rebuild it. Well, so am I, but I broke my protocol as family brought candy from Europe. Could not help it, no regrets. Oh, man. Oh, you're on keto as well. I think I remember you mentioning that. Yeah, I've done pretty good. Like, I started around, oh, man. I want to say March, and I've been on it since. I haven't really diverged yet, but man, candy is tempting, so especially chocolate for me. All right, folks, while that is happening, looks like this VM is deallocated. We're just going to delete it. In fact, I'm going to go to this resource group, and I'm going to delete all these objects. Yeah, we're just going to delete the resource group. And we're going to provision a new virtual machine for capturing doing wireshark capture. I need one anyway because I'm going to be doing well, I need an Ansible server in my lab. I need a TFTP server in my lab. I need a DNS server in my lab. So we should probably just do a server. so let's just do a server here, and we're going to create a new resource group. And we're going to call it SU RSG. You know what? We're going to put it in the same resource group that the even G20 VM box is in. And we're going to call it SU VM G win. We're going to say win server 1. And this is going to be, let's do Windows Windows 2016 data center. Why not? And let's change the size. We don't need a lot of firepower here. This is going to be just, it's going to be pretty simple. So, heck, why not? Let's go with a general purpose. Or CPUs, 14 gig of RAM. Well, we'll go 16. Yeah, we'll select this one. Okay, this time I'm going to write it down. And let's see, the VM name is this. And create a secure note. There's the VM name in Azure. Okay. Public inbound ports. Well, we're going to be selective about that. And for this one, we'll do RDP. These ports will be exposed to the internet. Yeah, I'm going to fix that. We already have a license as part of our subscription, so we're good there. Select inbound ports. Yeah, we got to do, eventually this will become a template. Yes, manage disks, networking. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to use the existing, an existing VNet. And we're going to go with the new subnet. Oh, shoot, I need to do that first. Why not? We'll go on the same subnet for now. Network security group advanced. This is where I want to do create new. And we're going to allow we're going to do an inbound rules, IP address. And this is going to be my IP address. Okay, I need my IPv4 address. There it is. I wonder if I can create an alias for this in Azure. Destination, we're going to say any 3389 TCP. Add. Okay, that's done. Accelerated networking is on, that's fine. Boot diagnostics is fine. Diagnostic storage account. I have one of those. Enable auto shutdown, yes. Every day at midnight. Eastern time, we'll say 11:59. No warning, not necessary. No guest config, no tags. Review and create. Validation failed. Why is that? Quota limits of core, maximum allowed 20. Oh, that's right. I need to put this, oh shoot. So I've already deployed a virtual machine that is 20, uses 20 vCPUs, and that is my limit in this particular subscription. So you know what I could do is, let's put it in the same region. I think that 20 vCPU is not even running. Let's put it in the same region as where this one is running, and we should be okay. Yeah, this one's in EU2, so let's put it in EU2 with that machine. I need to do that anyway, so. East US 2, change the name, EU2. And let me check the sizes. We might be able to do a bigger size. Well, it can only be up to 4 vCPUs, and then we're at our limit. Man, that's going to kind of hinder me a little bit. Uh, 16 gig of RAM. Let's see if it'll let me do this one. Disk is the same. Okay. Virtual network. I want to use the existing virtual network. Same subnet. Create new. Yes. EU2. EU2. Public IP or PIP. Even G when 1. Network security group advanced, configure network security group, yes, or networking. We will get to ISIS at some point, folks. I apologize. Oh yeah, storage account, okay. Auto shutdown, that's good. Okay, I need to edit this a little bit again. There we go. Running final validation, passed. All right, let's create this. Okay, so onto our lab. I need to create a new lab, and we're gonna call it, I do best on it, especially working at nights. Yeah, I can imagine, Mark Mila. Oh, you work at nights? I've always debated whether I would like that as an engineer or not. Like, You know, you're not around people as much. Probably get more done. Um, yeah, I've always wondered about that, you know. Okay, we're going to call this what should we call it? Big Lab. And it's going to be Lab Collage. Let's call it Lab Collage. Huge. Oh, not authenticated? All right. Yeah, we're going to call it Lab. We'll just Router Collage. Huge. That's how it's going to start, folks. We don't know how big is it going to grow. We just don't know right now. Yeah, it has its pros and cons. I would imagine. We all need that human contact, you know, and it can get boring, I'm sure. I've had to do like when I was younger, I had a few jobs where once in a while I had to do like guard duty. Oh yeah, it's not the con for you, I would imagine. I really never get bored, to be honest. I've tried to make myself get bored, and I always find something to do. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to do some. If it is slow, I have stuff to do. Yeah, exactly. That's always been the case for me. Like, I've never understood people say, I've got nothing to do. Like, I'm bored. There's always stuff to do. Okay, so we need to start sort of planning out our color scheme here. At least it needs to be something that is, because we're going to have a lot of different. I mean, this canvas is going to get really large by the time we're all done. It sounds a bit strange, but I studied my exams, did labs when it was slow. My boss did not mind as long as it worked. Yeah, I had a position like that before as well. Enjoy it while you have it. We just put it that way. And yes, you probably know, you know, just enjoy it while you can. Okay, so this is going to be a multi-access segment. So I think what I'm actually going to need is a little switch here. Yeah, just a bridge. Yeah, so we're going to have a little multi-access segment because we're going to illustrate the DIS in this lab and the pseudonode. I actually want to see this working. Yeah, definitely take advantage of it. That's awesome, man. That's good. Got to. So this is going to be GI01. They're all going to connect through. And we'll just do this, yeah. And at some point, I plan on connecting all these networks together. So I'm going to have to try to keep it neat here. I didn't want to do that. All right, let's move these. You got the pro version uploaded to your VMs. No, you can do this in Community Edition, actually. You can do the alignment You can't do the cool like Bezier lines or anything like that, but yeah, you can definitely align. Yeah, now I'm running the latest version. So yeah, definitely make sure you're running the latest version on that. And this is going to be we want to. I don't normally take the time to label IS area 1, 2, 3, 4, but I'm going to do this now because I know trying to do this later would be a major pain. So. Yeah, I'll show you my version here in a second. Oh, you know what? I think that logs me off the other. Two 20392. Interesting. So this is a box with 16 vCPUs. And I've noticed, I've definitely noticed that the bottleneck on Eve is the CPUs. Obviously, you want to have a lot of RAM, but I don't even get near. Of course, I have a good bit of RAM on it. I think I have 64 on here, or 128. And we can actually look on the VM, right? We can see. Oh, that was quick. Let's boot this bad boy up. It should already be booted up. Cool. Let's configure DNS name here. E2 VM even G Win01. Okay, here's the DNS name. Let's see if we can remote desktop into it now. All right, we got a prompt. Now, I don't even remember, so it's a good thing I wrote down the even G admin. Okay. Okay, did not work, I think. All right. And boom. We're in like Flint. Let me make this smaller here. Yeah. Community Edition does have the features. Man, I never bothered to check. Thanks for pointing it out. You know, I didn't really check either. I just instinctively one day tried it. And I was like, oh, wow, it does work. I was a little surprised myself. Do you want to allow? I do. Well, it doesn't really resize it, does it? Okay, fine. I don't want to see this every time. I forget how to. I'm not a big Windows Server Pro here. Okay. And let's just check our IP address. (10.0.1.5). Okay. And this virtual machine is, where'd my portal go? We don't need this anymore, I don't think. Is, oh, not this one. This one. (10.0.1.4). Okay. And we can ping it. I guess I need to see what is the management address of, all right, let's just SSH to it, right? Or let's just browse to it. Oh, I need Chrome. Don't use recommended settings. Ah, the pain of Windows. Okay, let's turn off browsing security on here. Tools. How do I do this? File and storage. Windows 2012 disable secure browse. Yes, this is what I want to do right here. Local server properties. Okay, let's try that. Aha. There we go. Let's restart Explorer. Yes, I know it's not enabled. Thank you. You do a search for Chrome download on Bing and it tells you browse longer, browse faster, built-in protection, built-in assistance, Microsoft Edge. No. Get me away from Microsoft Edge. I don't want anything to do with it. Thank you for downloading Chrome. Oh, this is why I can't stand Windows operating systems sometimes. Okay, so at least these routers are running. And on our configuration, let's go ahead and configure these bad boys. So let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, sweet. So now let's try to hit that server. Hey, check it out. Sweet. So now I need to download the EVNG wrapper. And I don't mean wrapper by music artist. Okay, it logged me out. All right, that's fine. We'll try it from here. Let's see how to recover. I don't want a video. Just give me the download. Just give me the download. Just give me the download. I don't want to watch a video on a remote desktop. Here we go, Windows client side. All right. Windows integration pack. Ah, yeah, mega.nz. Oh, I probably need putty as well. .64-bit. Install the client pack. Not sure what's happening right now. Oh, it's not going to let me open an MSI. Save link as. Jeez, come on, folks. I guess I could just grab the binary. It's probably not going to let me do that. There is antivirus software running on here by default. Wow, it's still got me locked down. Okay. There we go, finally. Weird. Maybe it's just the site is slow? Yeah, that's what it was. The site is just slow, I guess. Even G client pack. Yes, please run. Oh, I need wireshark too, don't I? Language. I probably need to install that wrapper after everything else. It's letting me install everything like at the same time, which is cool. And it's pretty quick. Hey, we got routers. All right. At least we got that. Okay. This is going to be R4. Next. Finish. Okay, then it's doing the client pack. Okay, that's good. Yes. Oh, I need Telnet, and it's probably not installed by default. So let's install it. Telnet, where are you? Yeah, I don't want to do it as a service. No, not that. I type in Telnet, it says turn Windows features on or off. Figure single server. Select a server from the pool. I don't need to be that abstracted, man. Features, here we go. Let's do Telnet and TFTP client. Yes. And SNMP service. Never mind. Install. Okay. In particular, why most only use the VIOS image versus the IOL from Viral. So the reason for that, Mark Milo, is that iOS or IOL or IOU, iOS on Linux or iOS on Unix, those are internal Cisco images. So they're never really released to the public, and there's no real way to obtain them. Yeah, there's no legitimate way to obtain them outside of Cisco unless you have some sort of special relationship with Cisco as a partner, or it's basically an internal tool. So that's why it was so cool that Viral came out, because that was really one of the first sort of legitimate ways to obtain Cisco software for labbing. So yeah, the images are denser. IOL and IOU, the web version, are really slimmed down routers. Like, they run very efficiently. You can run a lot of them. I've found, though, or heard anyway, that at least the VIOS image, the Viral images, are more in terms of features and compatibility. They work much better, or they work better than the IOL images. So IOL images, very small, can run a lot of them. But Viral images are larger. They're more bloated in terms of their size, but more reliable in terms of running the features that you want. So, okay, that pack has run, so we'll see how this works. Let's go ahead and try to do, well, no interfaces are up yet. We'll do a packet. Oh, you're very welcome. No problem. Going back to the lab here. Okay, configuration. So let's do router 1, interface L0. Router ISIS. Interface GI01. IP router ISIS. Well, that's interesting. So on interface L0, I guess you have to be careful there, because I type router ISIS. Thought I did. Yeah, I did interface L0, and then I did router ISIS. Oh, that's why. Yeah, you got to be careful of that, right? Because when you're doing interface level configuration, you need to say IP router ISIS. Then you do globally router ISIS, network 49.1234, 0.0.0.0.0.0.0.0.0.1, IS type level 1, -1, log adjacency changes. Okay, so we got a level 1 router here. And then let's go to router 2. Interface GI01. IP router ISIS. Router ISIS. Net is 49.1.2.3.4. And IS type level 1, log adjacency changes. Maybe all of these are going to be level 1. And IP router ISIS, router ISIS, net 49, 1, 2, 3, 4. And IS type, yep, level 1, log. Router 4, interface J01. IP router ISIS. IP router. Oh, did I get out of interface configuration? Interface J01. Sometimes I don't know how I end up where I am on, on the command line. Yeah, 49, 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 4, dot 0, 0. IS type level 1, log adjacency changes. Okay. So we should have 4 adjacencies now. Yeah, 0, 1. That's right. Oh, I didn't do a no shut. I always forget about that on viral images. No shut. Now we should see adjacencies. Okay. And there we go. So this is where CLNS, we have okay. So on their own, without the pseudonode feature, we would have to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 adjacencies to manage. Basically like a full mesh management. With the pseudonode, we only have to worry about 3 adjacencies. 1, 2, well, 4. And let's look at this is interesting. So let's look at the circuit ID. If we do show ISIS neighbors, look at this circuit ID, R401, R401, R401. I think we can assume here that router 4 is the DIS and the pseudonode. R4.01, yeah. And they should all have that. Even router 4, I guess. I did not mean to do that. We have a full mesh of neighbor adjacencies. Each router has become neighbors. This is a 1 octet value that the circuit ID that identifies the interface that ISIS runs on. And is concatenated with the circuit ID, with the system ID of the DIS, the designated intermediate system. And when the routers are neighbors, they'll flood their own LSPs. Okay, so let's take a look here. Let's see if we can wireshark capture here. Here's the hey, it works just like that. Now I just downloaded Wireshark. Why does it tell me there's a new release? Of Question is, will it be able to store key? If you don't store key and cache, yes. There we go. It works. Community edition. So we should be able to see, here's the CSNPs, the hellos. I did not see the LSP update because what I need to do is actually shut down like the loopback and bring it back up. Or just create a new one. And then IP, router, IS. Nope, don't do that. Come back. LSP, there it is. Okay, let's stop it right there. So, these are sent every 10 seconds, though, it turns out. There's the prefix, 1111. So it sends, looks like it sent all of its LSP. It's in it. Yeah, an LSP message is generally all the information. Then the CSNPs, which should be coming from okay, that's coming from router 1. Oh no, that's coming from router 4. Okay. Yeah, router 4 should be saying now in the CSNP that the latest entry is this sequence number 7. So yeah, we noticed and that's this is what router 4 is sending. And as we can see here, the destination address is the all level 1 ISs, which is 0180 C2000014. Let me check my. Oh, I always figured they did not update the release included in the even G package. Yeah, that's right. That's why I got that error right. Yeah, because that's what it's launching an older version of Wireshark. So you know what I want to check right now is in my notes in the drill sheet. I have a listing of layer 2 multicast addresses. And I want to make sure I have this right for all L1 ISIS routers. Pretty sure I have this in here, but where's my Ethernet multicast? There we go. And I do, yep. 0180C2000014 is all L1 systems. 15 is all L2 systems. 0900 2B00004 is ISIS all in systems, and this is all systems. Interesting. So we're seeing that is true. That is verified here. The source is router 4 and intra-domain routing information exchange protocol. L1 CSNP. Interesting. So it does have a type for L1 and L2 distinguished here. And the latest entry is a sequence number is number 007. You know what we should see here is I want to capture router 4. So I want to see if router 4 is a designated router. What we want to verify here in the lab is that we're going to create a new loopback on router 2. And it should send an LSP. And then router 4 as a DIS should also send an LSP out. To all the routers. Let's capture on all of them. We're already capturing on one, right? Let's capture on all of them. Let's see exactly what happens here. GI01. So this will be router 4. And router 3. And router 2. And router 1. Okay, I don't know much about cascading windows, but just going to do ISIS. Okay, I think this is 3. Source. Yeah, this is 3. This should be 4. Okay, this is router 2. Let's put them in order here before this gets out of hand. 2, 3. Oh shoot, I goofed that one up. All right, this should be, you can tell by the loop packets, this is router 1. Okay, 1, 3, 2. All right, router 4. I have no idea. I'm getting these I think that is, to be honest, I think that is robocalls. I just saw a article or a news report about that on the news tonight. That's kind of getting out of hand. I have no idea what that number is. Okay, so we got all 4 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to create a new loopback over here on router 2. So I think the gist of this is that we want to see an LSP from router 1. But we should really only get an acknowledgement. We should only be getting CSNPs from router 4. That's it. And that is the function of the DIS, is he basically has an adjacency, and he's going to send out these CSNPs to all the neighbors. So here's the LSP. Okay, looks like they're all going to send a copy of the LSP, which is fine, I think. Why is that red? Short E to IS reachability. Not sure what that is. Okay, so here's the LSP. This is router 3. This is router 2. I think we can go ahead and stop these. I'd like to find out IS reachability, ES neighbors. Why is that red? Error malformed. Short E to IS reachability. Hey, dude, for him, you just get back from Halloween neighborhood roaming. Hey, have some candy for me, man. I'm on keto diet, so I don't really eat candy, so I hope you eat a lot for me on my behalf. Good to see you, man. Good to see me and Mark Milo have been hanging out here playing with ISIS and just, you know, chewing the fat here. Playing a little bit with Azure too. And we found an interesting error here. Expert info, error malformed, type 3, length 4. And I get this, I think, on all of these. This is from router 4. Yeah, they're all like lit up red. In system neighbor. Short EIS reachability. Four versus 10. Yeah, I don't know what that means. But what I should see is okay, CSNP, this is router 2. Where are my CSNPs coming from? They're coming from router 4. Yep, which is what we want. So basically these every 10 seconds we're getting the CSNPs. This is router 3 and he's getting them from router 4. CSNPs on router 1. Yeah, all of them are doing this. I don't really know if that means anything. But the CSNPs are coming from router 4. Very good. So that's what I kind of wanted to see there. And then we should see on each router, we should obviously have this update. Show IP route ISIS. Yeah, I've got it. And have reachability. And then on router 3, yep, he's got all of them. Sweet. Show ISIS database. I find it interesting that just like OSPF, ISIS uses a link state database, right? And this is interesting. Okay, I haven't actually looked at this before. So we have these are the sequence numbers. Here we go. 8626152. So is it just listing the latest one at the top? We should see this in the CSNP. So let's look at the one from router 4. Oh, it's got all of them, doesn't it? LSP entry number 7. And here's the checksum. Okay, that's cool. So the checksum is here. All right. A5AF. That's a different checksum. Oh, this one's the same. Maybe this is at the top. Is that... Oh, there's the lifetime. Okay. So we've got 7. Maybe this is a pseudonode. Because we've got 6. We should have 8 in here as well. 2, 6, 1, 5. That doesn't have it, does it? But is that the latest one? So we have, there's 7. XA5. Yeah, I don't see that one. Show IS database. Oh, look at this. You can do L1. You can do detail. Ah, okay. Metric. So this is coming from router 1. A3B0. Yeah, A3B0. Okay, the second LSP. All right, let's look. I don't want to get too far into those weeds. I'm just going to stick to kind of what the lesson is saying. But it says if you go to router 1, which is not, of course, the pseudonode, and do a show ISIS database of R4.00-00. And then detail. Metric of 10. Okay, just kind of perusing this lesson here. Okay, what we want to see is we want to see this sequence number increment. And then we want to see that sequence number. So let's watch that. Let's go back to router. Let's see, show IP route ISIS. Okay, he has a loop back. He does not. So we're going to put a new loop back here. First of all, let's look at our CSNP. And let's start this again. Yeah, it doesn't really let you do that, does it? You have to come back here and do this. Okay, so what we're going to do is a before and after on the CSNP. Okay, right now we see, let's do like Notepad or something here. So the CSNP, these are all the LSP IDs. Let's just pull this off to the side. And then let's put a new interface in here. Okay. Show IP route ISIS. There it is. Okay, so now we should have a new CSNP. There's the LSP. And here's a new CSNP. Okay. Side by side. There's an 8. I don't think there's a quick way to tell. I think you have to go through and look at each one. There's a 6. Sequence number 2. Okay, here's something new. There's that 6, right? There's another 2. A 5 and a 2. So what we see here, it's kind of a scramble, but basically we could compare if we were another router on the network and we looked at this and we compared our database against this CSNP, we might see that this sequence number is not in there. Notice it has the longest remaining lifetime also. And then we could look at the checksum, OX22F1, and if it wasn't there, then we might need to request a partial LSNP, right? So show ISIS database. 22F1, right? Well, I lost where did it go? Ooh, too many windows. Doesn't matter how many servers you spawn, there's still never enough window space. There's never enough screen space. And I don't know that that matches. There's A5AF. Okay, 42ED is here. CE77 is not there. DF1A is not there. So these don't necessarily correspond, I guess. Oh, that one does, 7AD7. Yeah, I don't know how to interpret these. I don't know that that's necessarily important at this phase. And maybe a future lesson will have that information for us. Okay, now we're going to change the DIS. It's going to be the last thing we do in this lab. We're going to change it to router 2. So if we go to the interface, interface JAZ01, we're going to say ISIS priority. And let's make it 100. Higher number is better, right? Now let's do a show CLNS IS neighbor. .64 is default, right? But now if we look over here, show, what was the command? CLNS IS neighbor. Yeah, so he has a higher priority. Notice the circuit ID has changed now to R2 instead of R4. And if we look at our CLNSs, or CSNP, sorry, so many acronyms. That one is stopped. This coming from router 2. Yep, he is the new DIS. Close these out. Nice. Oh, okay. So when we do show ISIS database, this is how you can tell the pseudonode by the 01. Okay. And this will age out. Okay, 20100 is a new one. That's why these, okay. Old time. SIS database. Very nice. I don't know what the star, oh, this is who we are. The star is next to us. Okay. All right, folks, I think that's going to wrap up this lab. This was very useful. You can imagine in a really large network, like right here, we have the pseudonode is saving us 2 adjacencies, right? Doesn't seem like a lot. Oh, I wanted to save those. Yes, I want to save. This is our first of what will soon be a very, very large lab. And you know what I'm going to do is when I finish these up, I need to like assign a different address scheme. Just something crazy. So we're going to say, what's the date? Let's go by, we'll go by like lab numbers. So this is 10.1.1. 0/24. Yeah, we'll do /24s. So the next lab I do will be 10.1.2. etc. And we'll end up joining these together. So interface j01, IP address 10.1.1.1. Show IP interface brief. No interface L0, no interface L11. Yeah. This is going to get fun as we get bigger and bigger. 10.1.1.2. No interface L22. Oh yeah, we need to write our changes. And Ten dot one dot 1.3. 10.1.1.4. This is going to be cool. Do show IP interface brief. Sweet. Okay. So those are saved. Let's export all configs. I can't wait to keep building on this lab, get bigger and bigger and bigger. Export all done. That's one way to build a lab, eh? So let's stop all nodes. Close the lab. Log out. Well, that Windows machine worked out pretty good. I want to template this. I want to spin this into a template. It's late, isn't it? I'll worry about that later. We'll just shut this bad boy down. And trivia question of the day, dude for him already knows this one. Which MetroE service allows layer 3 connections? That's probably not a very well worded question, honestly, because technically all of them would theoretically allow a layer 3 connections. They're not necessarily... I should have asked, like, which MetroE service uses layer 3 customer connections. Any takers? Any takers? Oh, don't make me do that. Reason. They're still doing that in Windows? Jeez. All right, we're going to shut this machine down as well. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to open the, this is, so if you, in case you know these, this is Ethernet wire service. And this is a point-to-point service that includes, that uses layer 2 CEs, customer equipment. Ethernet private line, also point-to-point, uses layer 2. The difference between these is this one allows you to, you can actually bundle TDM services. So you could use like a TDM circuit, like T1s. Ethernet relay service. And relay is what you want to look for, the R, because that basically means, this is also point-to-point, however, but it uses layer 3 customer equipment. So the answer is number 3. EMS, Ethernet Multipoint Service. And this is Multipoint that uses layer 2. Admittedly, a lot these days are layer 3, but you still get layer 2. I recently had a circuit provision that was a layer 2 service because it was, well, just say like express route circuit, for example, with Azure. Typically, you will get like a layer 2 trunk, essentially, and you configure on both sides. You configure on the Azure side and on your side. You tag the interfaces using 802.1 Q tagging, and then that's how you separate, because traffic is separated on the other side as well based on the peering type that you're using. You can do multiple peerings on a single circuit, and this is why, because they're using layer 2. But I'm pretty sure that's VPLS. So that's virtual circuits over MPLS, right? I don't think those are MetroE circuits. But anyway, this was a good, if you're doing any kind of development. If not, this would be very boring, I'm sure. But this is a very important principle in development in general. And it is basically the 3 laws of TDD, which is test-driven development, right? And it's interesting, this is part of the discussion whenever you're studying for the T-shoot. It talks about doing your validation. And really throughout the CCNP studies, it talks about the importance of verification, right, or validation of your design. And especially when you're conducting a change or doing troubleshooting or configuration changes, you always want to have a good validation or verification plan. Well, the idea behind test-driven development is that you would do, if you're doing infrastructure as code, for example, that you would build unit tests for basically each change that you're going to make. So, and you build the tests before you build the change or the new code. So essentially, when you build the unit test, let's say you have a test for the interface being up, right? That one change, like a no shutdown. So the idea is that in your code, you first have a unit test, that is just going to check the status of the port, and is the port up? And the whole idea is that you don't wait until the end of building your deployment before you have your tests built. You're building the entire time. In fact, your development is driven by the testing. So before you do your deployments, you should have fully failed test results. But as you deploy, like if you bring an interface up, that test, that one change should have a test. And when you make the change, that single change, you should see a corresponding test result go from fail to pass, right? That's the idea of test-driven deployment, and it is good. It's isn't that the part of change management? Well, so change Yeah, so it depends on, I think, on the maturity of the organization, right? And the integration of automated tools. So is, some change management boards, if you have pings, that's fine for them in that organization. They want, they may look before they approve the change. What level of test do you have? Oh, well, my verification plan is to make sure I can ping. That may be fine for a change control board somewhere, right? Other change control boards, maybe, and again, it depends on, I think, each organization. Some organizations are going to require, okay, did you run this code in a test environment? And do you have, there's a lot of different levels of testing. There's unit testing, there's integrated testing, there's user testing. So it just depends, I think, on the maturity of the organization and the size. Yeah, so I mean, I'll just say that there's, and it depends on the type of code, right, and what capabilities you have. So if you're writing a routine in C#, it's very easy to write a unit test for that condition, right, in line with your code. But yeah, it's something that I'm learning about, and on the new team I'm on, we had developers, and they're training me on this. So, but yeah, say for example in Azure, we'll go to Azure DevOps. I'll show you the deployment I have for this Ubuntu virtual machine. So as you have a pipeline, right, and a release, and notice there were a lot of releases here that failed, or a lot of builds that failed. But if I go to this last release, so I have different, see, I don't have any tests built. So this is part of my development environment right here. I could actually have tests that run, or I could have tests built that go out and query the environment and are tied into what happens during this release pipeline. Let me go back to the edit board and show, this will probably be better. There's a graphical view. Yeah, here's a job. So here's a deploy VM job. Sorry. Yeah, so you have different stages, different artifacts, right? This is a single build. I could have multiple builds, but I could have a test stage, and the test stage could run, and if it ran successfully, then we could add a deployment stage, right? So that's integrated testing. So again, it just depends on your deployment environment and what your capabilities are as well in terms of implementing the changes. So yeah, infrastructure as code is, still really new for a lot of people. It's still very new for me. I'm still learning. And as a matter of fact, where I work, our change control board is trying to adapt to a more of a CI/CD sort of pipeline. So anyway, forgot to turn off my notifications. Sorry, folks. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for tonight. Thanks so much for tuning in. Very good questions, guys. Great interaction in the chat. Hope you have a great rest of your Halloween. And we shall see you back here tomorrow for some more ISIS here on the Land Tamer stream. Sending out good bits. And you folks have a great, restful night. Take care now.